So much hate out there at the moment, guys. Keep sending the hate because I'll keep showing you the analysis and I'll keep identifying why alt season hasn't happened, why I think the bottom's coming close, how you can use different metrics to understand exactly where we are in the cycle, and how it's humans, it's you lot, guys, it's you lot that's messing things up, and I'm going to show you exactly why. Morning, guys. Keith at Crypto Bullseye. So there's a lot of negativity in the markets. There's a lot of hate in the markets at the moment. There's a lot of people that are saying alt season's cancelled. There's a lot of people that are saying that we've had alt season. Guys, confirm to you now, we haven't had alt season. And there's a lot of hate in the comments. There's not many people watching the channel. I'm not whinging, guys. This is building on my thesis that the bottom is very close and that people need to be ready. And the people that are watching now are the people that have got a higher chance of success. So the markets, guys, you need to understand the markets. They're driven by one thing. They're driven by fear. They're driven by greed. Human emotion is a funny thing. Why is fear and greed important, guys? The charts, these candlesticks, what do you think they are? Buy orders, sell orders. Sometimes people feel fearful and there's more sell orders. Sometimes the buyers become sellers. Sometimes the sellers become buyers. Sometimes the news is positive. Sometimes the news is negative. Guys, go back and check. Go and have a look at a chart. This is the daily chart. This is Bitcoin. Go back on the 24th of February, find out what happened. Go back on the 25th of February, find out what happened. Go back on the 26th of February, what happened. What happened on this big green day here? This is humans having confidence to buy or not having confidence and ended up selling. So we're going to talk about fear and greed in this, and then I'm going to show you a representation of a chart of where we are now in the past to find out exactly what happened then. So fear and greed, that's going to be the topic of the day. So we're going to bring up the fear and greed index first. You can see that we're in 46. So we're in 46. That's the last 24 hours. Yesterday, 27. And then the day before, we were in 28. So when the markets are fearful, guys, when the markets are fearful, you get the red candles. When the markets are greedy, you get the green candles. Now, what happens when the fear and greed index gets ground down and ground down and ground down to a certain level when people have got no confidence in the market? That's what we're going to be talking about. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down on the fear and greed to find out a couple of key areas. Now, this is one key area. This is exactly where we are now. Now, we'll look at the chart and we'll mark that out here. So this is where we are now. That's where we are now. We were in extreme greed, extreme fear, then we're in fear. So we're going to go back. And find out exactly what happened the last time we were at this level. This is going back here, guys. So this is June 2022. So if we go back on the chart, we look at June 2022, guys. This is round here. What happened? We were bottoming when we were in extreme greed. That signaled the bottom. Then we'll go back again one step further, guys. Everybody remembers this May 2021 crash. So the May 2021 crash, what happened in June and July? Extreme fear. What happened, guys? Signaled a bottom. Then what about this one? People remember this one as well. March 2020. A lot of crap going on there, guys. March 2020. March 2020. Let's have a look. March 2020. Extreme greed. Extreme fear, sorry. So each time that we're in extreme fear, that signals a bottom's in on the market as far as Bitcoin's concerned. And that's what we're looking for at the moment. So they can last, guys. They can last for a period of time. They can last over an accumulated phase. And that does give people less confidence. It does make people bored. It does make people sell at higher levels, and then it'll make people buy back at even higher levels. So that's what we're looking for in the short term, guys. That's why I'm showing you the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, because the markets are driven by those two metrics. And it isn't just charts, guys. It goes back to caveman days. Human emotions are drilled in with fear and greed. And guess which one's the stronger emotion? Guys, fear is the stronger emotion. Greed isn't. So that's why they say that the bulls, you've probably heard this before, guys. You say the bulls climb the stairs, i.e., small ups, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Then they say that the bears drop out the window. Why do you think the bears drop out the window? Because fear is a bigger emotion than greed, and more people would sell on fear. That's the whole thesis behind it, guys. Change your mindset. When people are greedy, you be fearful. When people are fearful, you be greedy. What happens if you do that, guys? What happens if you follow this chart? That means that you're selling euphoria and you buy in fear. It's as simple as that, guys. Humans have got a sheep mentality built into them. Humans follow the crowds, guys. And when news comes out, People follow that news. People, the herd sheep mentality follows that news. And that's why you get an accumulative sell-off or an accumulative buy-off, depending on whether the news is positive, whether the news is negative. And that brings me on to Mr. Trump. Everybody hates Mr. Trump at the moment. This brings me on to macroeconomics. So it's not just crypto, guys, that we need to be concerned about. It's traditional market, is the world economy. Now, everybody's hating on Mr. Trump because of these tariffs. These tariffs are wrecking the market. They're wrecking crypto. You need to understand one thing, guys. There's a bigger picture, and this goes outside of crypto. And the bigger picture is the Fed, they need to pivot. They need to reduce interest rates. Why do you think that is? Because the world needs to refinance their debt. Europe needs to refinance. The UK needs to refinance. Canada needs to refinance. China needs to refinance. And the big daddies themselves, the US, need to refinance. So how can you pull the markets down? How can you pull the markets down? How can you make job numbers look bad? And how can you make the economy in the short term look so bad that that sends a signal to the Fed, you need to do something, you need to reduce interest rates. Once they reduce interest rates, guess what happens? Companies can start borrowing again. And when companies start borrowing again, that stimulates their economy, it increases GDP. And guess what? People have got more money, interest rates are lower, inflation's under control, more spending, more spending, more spending. When there's more spending, that shows times of on risk, guys. Goes through different cycles, a 4-year business cycle. You'll have quantitative easing, you'll have quantitative tightening, you'll have high interest rates, you'll have low interest rates. And it is just a market manipulation to move the markets and drive the markets, because the markets always need to look good, guys. So that was a bit of a digression, guys, but I just need to understand, or I need you to understand, why I think that Trump's using these tariffs to try and pull the markets down, to send a signal to the Fed. Interest rates need to come down, market conditions need to be better. The world needs to refinance their existing debt, and then it looks a better place. So I hope you did find that useful, guys. We're going to look at a couple more metrics. We're going to look at the net unrealized profit and loss now. We've talked about this before. This marks the top of each cycle. Now, the net unrealized profit and loss, and this is this blue line here, guys. The blue line represents whether the majority of people on average are actually in profit, which hasn't been cashed in, unrealized, are in profit, or collectively whether they're in a loss. And every time that it hits euphoria and greed on here, every single time, that's marked a top for Bitcoin. We've got nowhere near that at the moment, guys. We're pulling back, and we're pulling back into optimism and anxiety. People are a little bit scared on Bitcoin at the moment, which signals we've obviously got a high probability of one more move to the upside. So that one more move to the upside would be the swing 5. When you get the swing 5, guys, that's when the altcoins run. Bitcoin doesn't run as hard as the altcoins. Altcoins run hard, but they crash even harder. So we're going to look at a couple of charts, guys. In the short term, one thing to look out for, you've got Bitcoin here, you've got a bullish divergence. Now, this is an accumulative phase. This accumulative phase is just going from 17 days ago. So you've got 17 days accumulated phase. You've got a bullish divergence. It's not the biggest of divergences. The aim of the game is to take out this level 106,947, and that would turn bullish again for Bitcoin. Right, okay, we talk about the rotation of capital. The main rotation of capital needs to come from the second biggest market cap, Ethereum. One thing's been happening that we don't know about Ethereum, guys. Whilst Bitcoin's been going through its bull run, institutions have been buying it, countries have been buying it, banks have been buying it. Bitcoin's been going through its bull run, been shorting the hell out of Ethereum, guys. So Ethereum hasn't run. Ethereum's had a pullback. Never guess what? Would you say that the people are short in Ethereum? Ethereum's got ETFs. Ethereum's huge, guys. It's the second biggest market cap. The people that are short in Ethereum, the institutions that are short in Ethereum, first and foremost, was it a hedge against Bitcoin? And secondly, now that they've got a bag of capital for ETH, what they're going to use that bag of capital for? Because if it was a leverage trade, if it was a trade, they'd be in USDT now. If they've cashed in their ETH at lower levels that they shorted, they're probably going to buy back ETH, guys. They're probably institutions trying to bring the price down of ETH so they can get in. Do I know that that's the case? Haven't got a clue, guys. Just reading between the lines. Let me know in the comments what you think. Bitcoin dominance. This is going to be one of the leading indicators. How does this look at the moment? Every time that you knock on the ceiling, you knock on the ceiling, you knock on the ceiling, you've got a higher probability of breaking through. Hasn't broken through yet, but one thing here that gives me a little bit of positive strength is that we've had a push up here, had a push up, then you've got this middle candle here, you've got the low, which is represented by the wick, and then you've got a lower low, lower close candle, which takes out the extreme of the previous day's low. That is a 3-bar reversal. So that's the rejection point here, guys. And you're looking at 61.92%. If we can reject at 61.92%, that would be a good first sign. That'd be a good first sign that people are coming out of Bitcoin into altcoins. So remember, guys, I talked about greed, I talked about fear, I talked about stimulus, times of risk on, times of risk off. The rotation needs to happen from risk on to risk off. And that rotation starts with Ethereum. So when we see Bitcoin dominance come down, you'll probably start seeing Ethereum pump hard. When you see USDT dominance come down, you'll start seeing Ethereum pump hard. You'll start seeing altcoins pump hard. Now, one thing that we do need to be concerned about here on the USDT dominance, it did put in a new high. We wanted a rejection at this point. It's put in a new high and it's come back and it's tested this as a higher low. So this is the level that we need to drop, and that's sat at 5.22%. If we drop 5.22% and start putting in lower highs, guess what? That's another rotation of capital out of USDT into altcoins. What else is it going to go into, guys? If Bitcoin dominance is coming down, and Ethereum's running and the USDT dominance is coming down, it has to be going into altcoins. What else is it going to be going in if dominance is coming down? Then we look at ETH BTC. Why do we look at this? I'm just going to go the weekly on this one. Go through different stages. This is what I was talking about, the rotation of capital. This is ETH season. This is Bitcoin season. Now, what does this chart look like? An oscillator. It ranges up, it ranges down, it ranges up, it ranges down. And what we're waiting for is ETH season. Once we get ETH season, that's showing that people are selling their Bitcoin, going into Ethereum, the second biggest asset within crypto, the second safest asset within crypto. And that is the rotation of risk, guys. You go on the least riskiest within the crypto market to the second least riskiest. Then you don't go to the third and the fourth. It doesn't work like that, guys. But Ethereum has got such a big market cap that people need to pay attention to Ethereum, and then people go into Ethereum when they want that little bit more risk, but not as much as what the high risk altcoins are. So you look at the Ethereum to try and find out when that starts outperforming Bitcoin. The area to beat, guys, is this lower high here at 0.04005 Satoshis. Once you break through that, that's showing that there's a strong possibility that Ethereum is going to start outperforming, and we're going to have that ETH season we've all been waiting for. Next thing is we've looked at the strength of the dollar in the USDT. That's been rejected at 618. It's done a 3-bar reversal. We need it to reject back, and then we need it to drop this trend line. On the DXY, DXY is actually front running the USDT dominance. DXY's dropped hard to this support level. And we said we get a reaction at this 103 level. So are we going to get any kind of pullback in the DXY? Strength of the dollar, strength of the dollar. We want a weak dollar. So if it pulls back, we want a rejection at this point and a continuation back to the downside. If we go all the way down here to 100, guys, that is going to be such a big surge in liquidity into altcoins. When you see this, a weak dollar, when you see a weak dollar, that's a strong economy. So there's signs that the dollar's getting weaker. Guess what? Do you think Mr. Trump wants a weak dollar? Of course he does, guys. Of course he does. A weak dollar is a strong US. It is a strong economy. It is a strong world. And it means we can get that money print and put back on. Yeah, it's devaluing our currency, guys, but we're in it for crypto. So then it's total 3, the big indicator. Now, this is my indicator for alt season. Anybody that has watched this channel for any amount of time knows when I get a break and when I get a close of total 3, which is the previous all-time high of the whole of the crypto market cap in 2021, once I get a break and a close of that, I'm scaling out my position, guys. Now, people say alt season's happened. Alt season hasn't happened. Alt season hasn't happened until we've taken out the previous high of the all-time high of the previous total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum. So that's my measurement of alt season, guys. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. We've pulled back, put in a higher low, guys. This is invalidated when we take out this low, when we take out that higher low. Exactly the same as Bitcoin, guys. It's invalidated when we take out that higher low. So Bitcoin can actually drop. Bitcoin can actually drop like 30, 40% from where it is now and still be in a bull market. Once you take out the previous higher low, that's when the signal is that the reversal's happening. So what I'm saying, guys, what I'm saying is the stars are aligned up. We're in fear. What happened last time we were in fear? It's looking like we're going to get ETH season. It's looking like we're going to get another push in total 3. It's looking, not even looking, the dollar's getting weaker. USDT dominance needs to drop back. BTC dominance needs to drop back. All of these things are going to help with us understanding where the rotation of capital needs to lie, when the rotation of capital is, when the bottom's likely to be in. Right, okay, so if you did find this video useful, guys, let me know in the comments. I'll do more like this. I'll see you in the next one.